Hello and welcome to Let's Play Dragon Age 2 Blind, episode 109, with me, Tagore. I guess I'm heading to the quest markers. Map. What do we got? Gamlen's greatest treasure and Niessa on the loose. Well, we'll go talk to Gamlen first. Sounds like a good idea.
A Starkhaven called for its lost... Sebastian. Would you give up if the city has moved on?
Like Ferelden moved on after Cailan.
You've been reading.
It's a good tale. King Alistair is particularly inspiring. But I doubt that's how you see me. I don't intend to let anyone die restoring me to my place, Aveline. The risks are mine. And that will have to satisfy.
It was well said. I give you that. We'll see.
I wonder whether he ends up taking his throne. Can't wait to see the ending.
You've got to realize this is kind of new to me. I didn't know Mara had a baby. If I did, I would have, I don't know, gone after her or something.
She used to say I was so much like you, and I didn't even know who you were. I guess I wanted to see for myself. I need some time to think about all this, but if it's all right, I'd like to come back and talk more.
I think I'd like that. Keep, safe.
Gamlen's a little bit...
Looks like you two had a good talk.
It was bloody awkward, that's what.
I'm glad she came by.
I was worried she wouldn't come find you. I think you need each other.
You know, I may not say this very often, but I'm glad you're one of the family. But seriously, next time, stay out of my damn business, boy.
Ungrateful. Okay, now that we've done that, let's go see if we can't find this mage. Where it is? No, journal. That's what I want. I have to go talk to the Divine. Go talk to Fenris. Yeah. I have to talk to Meryl. And I have to talk to Sebastian.
So your tranquil solution was hardly the Holocaust you imagined.
You've been seeking revenge for the death of one family for as long as I've known you. Are you honestly judging me for trying to save the lives of every mage in Thedas?
But they were never threatened. It was a single man's lunacy. The Chantry would never follow through with such a thing.
I don't know about that.
Oh, greetings, Messer. My mistress is away seeing to a customer, but she will be back shortly. Is there anything I can do to help you?
I'm not here for that.
I'm here to speak to Huon's wife. Are you she?
I am his wife. When the Templars came, I told them the truth. I hadn't seen Huon in 10 years.
But
after they left, he came to me. He wanted me to hide him. I used to dream of him returning, but not like this. He's changed, and I don't know him anymore. I sent him away.
are you alright?
Did he hurt you?
Only broke my heart.
10 years is a long time.
So you hadn't seen him since he left you?
Huon didn't leave me. He was taken away. When the Templars found out he was a mage, they chained him and dragged him from the alienage, in front of everyone. Now I'm trapped in this sham. Married, but with no husband and no future.
Is Huon a blood mage?
Did you see him use any magic? Perhaps blood magic?
Would she know it to see it?
I don't know. I don't think he used magic on me.
Where's Huon now?
Do you know where Huon went after you sent him away?
I don't know. He disappeared. But Huon said he would return to take me away from this forever.
A user, just looking for another handout.
I don't know what he means, and I am afraid of him, Sir.
I could protect you.
Would it help if I returned? I'll make sure you're safe.
I would be grateful. Huon said he would come to the alienage soon, at nightfall. Are you going to arrest him? I think he needs help. Maybe the Circle will be able to heal whatever troubles him.
And let's go talk to Meryl, since she wants to speak to me, apparently. Or actually, I think I have a ring to give her.
Is this for me? It's beautiful.
Really?
Do you know what it is?
It's Dalish?
I only know that it was made by the Dalish.
It's Sylvanwood. Rare as diamonds. You only find it in very old, very wild places. The carvings tell a story of the betrayal. The Dread Wolf tricking all the gods away from the world.
Tell me the story.
Start at the beginning. What happened to the gods?
Long ago, there were two clans of gods. The Creators looked after the people. The Forgotten Ones preyed upon us. And one god who was neither. Fan Harel, the Dread Wolf. He was kin to the Creators, and in the old days often helped them in their endless war against the Forgotten Ones.
The gods were at war?
Why were they fighting?
No one knows. We barely even remember all their names, let alone who struck the first blow, who was wrong. Fan Harel was clever. He could walk among both clans of gods without fear, and both believed he was one of them. He went to each side, and told them the other had forged a terrible weapon, a blade that would end the war. He told the Creators it was forged in the heavens, and the Forgotten Ones that it was hidden in the abyss. And when the gods went seeking it, he sealed them both in their realms forever. Now he alone is left in the world.
Clever. So
I imagine the Dalish don't depict the doom of their gods just for decoration.
Not exactly, no. This was made for a keeper, you see. Guarding a clan from the Dread Wolf is a keeper's place. It's a very sweet memento, thank you.
That it? Excellent.
Elgonon, 6 years in this place.
Okay. That's done. Justice Faith. Oh, I got a letter. Let's go talk to the Tranche leader and Sebastian.
Are you loyal, Prince?
Guard Captain?
To Kirkwall, are you loyal? You're set on a title in Starkhaven, but we're having a crisis here.
This isn't just a Kirkwall concern. If this chaos spreads, Starkhaven will need a strong ruler to beat back the tide.
I've seen greater men than you use that excuse.
Noted and ignored, Captain.
Good.
Sister Nightingale says you must leave Kirkwall.
What?
You were right. The Divine will be taking action against Kirkwall, though the sister didn't say what. You must take the holy relics from the Chantry and leave for safety.
Sebastian, I'm surprised at you. Andraste would not thank me for saving a few dusty finger bones and my own skin at the cost of people's lives.
You won't leave?
Are you saying you will not flee?
When I became Grand Cleric, I took a vow to the people of Kirkwall and the Free Marches. I will not leave my flock.
Would you let yourself die?
There is no greater devotion than to lay one's life at the Maker's feet. There is no better death than to take the blow for another.
Please reconsider.
Sister Nightingale took a great risk to warn you. Don't be rash.
Please, Your Grace. Sister Nightingale thinks there will be war.
Then, I must make peace. Settle yourself, Sebastian. I'm in no personal danger. I am Grand Cleric. Who would dare attack me?
I can think of a
If
few
you
people.
will not shield yourself, then I will be your shield. You will come through this safely by the Maker's name. I swear it.
Interesting. Now talk to Sebastian.
If Althena won't leave Kirkwall, neither will I. I can't abandon her when the Divine's own agent warned her away.
You're very devoted.
The Grand Cleric is lucky to have your loyalty.
She'd be luckier were I willing to hit her over the head and carry her away. This isn't her battle. But if these Maleficarum rebel against the Knight Commander, Althena will put herself between them and be torn apart. I must try to make her see reason. This cannot end well.
And to Sebastian again.
I'm giving it all up. I made a vow to the Chantry, and it was wrong to turn my back.
Sebastian, listen to yourself. You're as impulsive now as the day you turned away from us. Do you think the Maker wants another rashly spoken vow that you'll abandon when the next passion takes you?
I will not...
This is your life, child. Don't spend it being blown about like a weather vane.
Huh.
But here's Hawke. Maybe you can talk some sense into him.
She seems frustrated.
Is the Grand Cleric upset with you?
She thinks I'm fickle, but I mean it. It was wrong for me to break my oath to the Chantry. I've turned against the Maker. And for what? Why would I want to rule Starkhaven and deal with jackals like Lady Harriman for the rest of my life?
Investigate. What do you want to do?
Do you see yourself as a prince or a priest?
That's exactly the question I've been praying for guidance about. When I think of going to Starkhaven, calling on allies like Flora Harriman and all the corrupt, scheming nobles, my throat swells shut in horror. When I think about staying, I'm at peace.
What will you do now?
If you give it up, what then?
I suppose I must convince Althena my commitment is sincere. Then I will remain here, to represent the Maker's interests as she thinks best.
What's right for Starkhaven?
You should ask what's best for your people, not just for you.
I do not have hubris enough to imagine it matters to the common people who rules them. Kirkwall does well enough with no one in the Viscount's seat. Someone will take the reins. The fields will be planted, the crops gathered. No one will notice that a Vale lives and isn't there, and I can devote my life to the Maker's will on Thedas.
You must take Starkhaven.
Don't give up now. You defeated the Desire Demons. All of Kirkwall benefited.
Of everything we've done, I'll never regret that. But I don't know. I've been praying for guidance and had nothing. I cannot return to Starkhaven and subject my people to war without a clear sign that it's the Maker's will.
And again.
Hawke should do it. Kirkwall needs a Viscount.
What?
Have you asked him? It would be Hawke's decision.
I watched my parents in Starkhaven. When times are good, the city rules itself. Years could pass and no one would notice who's prince. But when there's famine, when there's war, people look to their leaders. Who does Kirkwall have beyond Hawke?
What are you
This is
planning?
probably a conversation for the two of you to have.
What are you two
You want
scheming?
me to be Viscount?
Andraste said the Maker is king in the heavens, but it is the kings of Thedas who must recreate his worldly glory. I keep thinking about that. Who better serves the Maker? A brother of the faith, or a prince who can sway a whole city?
We all have our part to play.
Every person does the Maker's work in their own way.
Althena is risking her life by not deserting her flock. Could I do the same? It's been 15 years since I lived in Starkhaven. The people there are only a memory to me. Kirkwall, the Chantry, that's real. That's where I belong.
And I'm gonna have to cut it short here. Thank you for watching Let's Play Dragon Age 2 Blind Episode 109 with me, Tagore. Hope you join me next time for 110.